when you came to the Lone Star, how did you
Yes.
came to this idea like a big battery to come? Because that was like
You want the truth? Okay, I'm ready to tell you the truth. 2 years later. Is it 2 years? Almost 2 years. All right.
yes.
It's all right, so let me explain to you something. So there was this at that time, we were in 2018, in December of 2018. So we were selling the prototypo very well, but the prototypo was it was not I had no idea we would make so many. It's a prototype. We weren't supposed to make so many. And so it wasn't, well, we didn't have any, I didn't have any experience. And my brother and I, when we were designing it, we didn't have any um, supply chain experience. We didn't know how tough it would be to assemble. So it wasn't difficult to assemble, but it was, you needed to have little, like, to be very delicate, because you can mess it up 1,000 times and then just ruin the deck, or ruin the enclosure, or ruin this, or ruin that. They were difficult to assemble because you needed to be very good with your hands, so it was difficult to scale. So we were, when it started picking up, I started thinking about everything I wanted to change to make assembly quicker and more efficient. So that's when immediately I started working on what is today Nazare Lone Star jaws,
Mhm.
12S boards. And so first of all, change the insert. We had little 3M screws that they would break, and it was just like, so I would assemble boards, Nelson. All right, and it was like Friday. So back then, I was making them like in my basement. And then, so I was doing final assembly in my basement. GF was assembling all the electronics in his basement, like 30 minutes away from me. So I would go with the E-tray and the back trucks in his house, and then we would assemble the electronics. Then I would go back to my house, put it in the car, like 4 of them, trying not to scratch anything, and then going back to my car, and then going back to my house. Then I would do final assembly. So at that point, if I was doing like 5 boards a week to like 7 boards a week, I was working like 80 hours. I was like completely burnt
Killing
out. Like I
yourself.
couldn't completely, yeah. And so I knew that, like, okay, like this is good start for a business, but like no, we can't scale this. And then so I did. Sorry, I wanted to. So at the end, Friday night, all right, Friday p.m. DHL is coming to pick up all the boxes. They're all in my basement. They're coming. I have like 30 minutes to like close this board. So I was closing, and at the end, it was always the same thing. The last freaking screw, the head would pop off, and I broke it. And that was like, so I needed to take all the enclosure off and then finicky with it. And I was just stressed out, because I wanted to get those boards out, and I didn't, some clients I was like, no, it's leaving on Friday. And when I say, it's leaving, it needs to leave. Like, I don't feel good and that was really important. It's still very important today when we give delays and we say something, we do it. So long story short, started working on Nazare Lone Star Jaws very early in the game. And then in December, while we were doing that, there was this event in New York, which was called, um, it was a very long range. I can't remember what it was, but it was a very long range um, race, like 60 miles. And some 250-pound guy, took the prototypo on this 60-mile 24 like non-stop race. And it was cold, and he was heavy, like not heavy, but heavy, for a 10S 5P battery. And like the charging took forever. And it was like, at that point we had the Nazare.
Mhm.
And when that guy complained about like his experience over the whole thing, I said, well, okay, obviously, like, we need like a longer range board. And as a joke, I said, while we were designing the Nazare, why won't we double the battery and see? And then it was like, that's crazy, man. Like, who's gonna buy that? And like, it's gonna be so heavy. And then it's like, we started crunching numbers, and then it's like, well, how much would it cost? I was like, I don't know. Let's try to make it. Let's figure out. And then it's like maybe people will pay $4,000 for it. Maybe we didn't know. I had no fucking clue. I was like, okay, maybe we'll sell like two. And like it'll, you know, it's all the same thing. It's just another enclosure. So we decided to make it. And it was basically to like go to that event where it was like, well, we need a faster charger. Like a fast charger is not 4 amps. Like, no, that's what we use the same charger as Evolve. And they was like ultra fast, mega fast charger. So it was like, okay, I guess that's fast. But it wasn't really fast. It took a few hours to charge a small battery. So then we bumped it up to 12 amps. I was like, we need 12 amps. And it was like, 12 amps. I'm like, man, it needs to be quick.
You have finished your involvement. Sorry.
Yeah. I'm done. That was the last uppercut. I'm done. I'm done talking about it. I'm done. I'm done. Unless you force me.
Enjoy it.
About how they off our prototypical design.
Leave it. You can enjoy it. You can tell everything you want, my friend. Here is free. Don't worry.
I just did.
Just have fun. Just have fun.
All right. I'm having a lot of fun. I'm having a lot of fun. Too much almost. I think I'm gonna regret it. I'm like, oh shit, it was taped.
No.
Like, oh, goddamn Nelson, he got it out of me.
Yeah.
But so that's how it came about. It came about as we didn't think we were selling any. We didn't think we were going to sell any, and it's been our best seller.
Subscribe now.